Hi, I'm Christina Ward, Christina and Company, Keller Williams Realty, and this is your monthly market update. Today, we're going to talk about how did we even get here? How did we get to this low inventory market and why? So I'm excited to just dive into the numbers because I could give you my opinions, but I'd rather just give you the facts and what's happening right now. So here we go. Okay. Ada County, which is the Boise area and surrounding areas, this is the resale market. So we separate the resale market from the new construction because usually they're totally different markets, but I'm going to show you some similarities right now. So resale is everything but new. And this is a rolling last 12 months of our sales. So you can see these high listings this time last year. Do you remember this time last year? Crazy times. We were all in our lockdown. And so we had a lot more listings and not quite as many buyers. Some people weren't out shopping. The serious buyers were, but not maybe the looky-loos weren't. And then we had this incredible summer where all of those buyers came back with, just out of the woodworks and the ones that paused in the spring. And it was a record-breaking summer with the most sales we've ever seen and the lowest inventory. And that low inventory continued to go down last year into the winter like it always does, but it was already low, so it went lower and lower. We hit rock bottom. I call it rock bottom, 85 listings in December total in our entire county when we're used to a few hundred or more that time of year. And we've been creeping out of that low inventory rate where we're now at 223 listings for sale, 588 under contract. That time last year, there was about 586. So there's no more buyers right now than last year, but the next few months is going to be really interesting where we hopefully see more buyers than last April 2020 and last May 2020 when everything was really shut down. The average price right now is $449. In our county, little Boise, Idaho, $449. Can you guys believe that? The inventory level is 0.3 months. That's what we're going to get to is why are we such low inventory? But really quick before I get into the why, this is the new construction for Ada County. So this is only new. These are to be built or already constructed spec homes that are selling. Last year, this time, 788 and 99 houses for sale. Now there's 155. There's 1165 pending, so that's up over last year. So thank goodness for these builders building these houses because we've got a lot more buyers that are scooping up those build jobs. Half of our under contracts right now are build jobs set to close throughout the entire year, but we even have some closings already set for the end of the year. This is the interesting part. Usually the average price of new construction is much higher than resale, but now that resale market's creeping up almost to be matching our new construction. That's really because of inventory levels, low, not enough houses for the demand of the buyers. 469 is the average price for new construction, and 449 is the average price for resale. In 2020, the average price for new construction was 253. And 227. So you see that separation. Now let's look at this. 2019, 362 average price for resale, 423 average price for new construction. So we are kind of closing that gap between the two. We're actually finding that a lot of our buyers that get under contract with the builders getting almost a better deal in some ways than those resales because there's not as many multiple offers on the new constructions as the resale. And in Canyon County, our next door neighbor county, right over where Nampa Caldwell and all those other awesome cities are, the average price, is this right? Yeah, okay. The average price for resale, existing homes in Canyon County is $315, 99 houses for sale, 311 under contract, 311 buyers right now, bought all those listings, 0.3 months inventory. If no new homes came on the market today, there's no houses for sale in less than a half a month. And then new construction is 354 average price. There's 144 for sale and 810 under contract, a lot more under contracts year over year. So we're seeing a little bit more buyers year over year when we look at those new construction sales. So that's part contributor to our low inventory is there's a lot of buyers and that demand from those buyers, but not a substantial amount more than previously year over year. So why? I mean, I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts. Please send me a message and tell me why you think we have such crazy low inventory. Like, just a reminder, 5-6 months inventory is a balanced market. We have 0.3 months inventory. So we are far from a balanced market. We are in a seller's market, right? In all categories, except for over 2 million, we are in a seller's market. The 1.5 to 2 is kind of getting into that balanced market. It's at 4.4 months inventory, but that over 2 million is 6.8. So that's a buyer's market or balanced market moving towards a buyer's market. Everything else is low, low, low. Even 1 to 1.5 is only 1.4 months inventory. So why is it that we are how did we get here today? I think there's been a series of events, right? It's like a lot of things, and it's probably even more than I know and you know, but here's what I do know. Markets are dictated by supply and demand or national disasters. So last year when the pandemic happened, this happened, a big gap between the listings and the buyers, right? That was more of an unexpected event that caused our market to shift. Otherwise, our market's dictated by supply and demand. So right now there are more people that own their house for longer. The National Association of Realtors said that people are owning their house for 10 years, used to be 7, so not quite as many listings as that. The other factor is from the Great Recession, we've never got caught up in that lost inventory. And what I mean by that is the Great Recession, you know, it got some of the builders and the tradesmen out of our industry. And some of it was a good thing, in realtors too, actually. Some of it was not a good thing. Like we never got caught back up because so many people got out of the industry because they got hurt so bad. And so we lost tradesmen and women and we lost builders, and we've been behind in houses being built since the Great Recession, which is like a domino effect of where we are today. We're still behind. And we've had low inventory for a long time. I mean, we're the lowest ever right now. Well, you know, last December was 0.2, so it was the lowest ever. But yeah, this has been a long time coming. Builders are back and they're doing as much as they can, but they cannot catch up with those years and years of lost inventory that we had since they weren't in business. And COVID also created a backlog. So we had a lot of supply chain, like a chain reaction of supplies not being available, and we're feeling it really bad right now. I just talked to a builder last night and he said he predicts a big, huge pause this summer because we're just going to run out of supplies in general, like all together. So, you know, shipping is behind, building materials is harder to get, is becoming more expensive. I mean, you all have heard about lumber. I just saw a statistic that lumber is 95% more expensive today than it was July of last year. And PVC, I hadn't heard about that, but I just read about it from a local builder in town. The prices are on the rise there because of hurricanes last fall, and also because of the great, that big freeze that Texas got. That's where all of it is built. So there's just a supply chain, you know, domino effect from those, and there's lots of stories about building materials just not being available or being behind, and that's rising prices. That's creating prices to go up, but also just delays. You know, I tried to get a window installed in a house recently and it's like 8 weeks out. So just everything is delayed right now. But just to recap, supply and demand causes our markets to shift. Right now, we are in a low inventory market, and it is because there are more buyers than sellers. Our market will shift, you guys. It doesn't stay forever. Markets are fluid, they change always. So what we're gonna see in the future, I don't know. I'm hoping to see more inventory, people that have to sell, people taking advantage of the market. There's, you know, I've said this before, there's 5 months of inventory of people that are not making their mortgage payments. There are people, the National Association of Realtors found out last year that 30% of people that would sell didn't because of the pandemic. So it makes sense that there's going to be more inventory coming up into the future, and that will cause our market to shift if it rises high enough. Now, if inventory goes up a little bit and then buyers just keep up with it, then it's not going to change our market. But eventually, inventory rises enough and the buyers start to separate, and or you know, another factor is interest rates. Interest rates rise. That's going to cause some buyers to go, I'm out. 450 is the average price, and now I have to pay more in interest rate. I'm not buying anymore, and that's going to cause an inventory shift. So there's a few factors where it just makes logical sense that we just can't keep going up and up. But it looks like this year we're going to remain in low inventory situation, especially because of what's going on in the building world. And it seems like a great opportunity to sell. And I don't know what's going to happen this summer, but all I know is the springtime is a great time to sell. Because if you guys can see this here, we can get ahead, like stay at that low inventory level where everyone else thinks spring's a good time to sell, right? And then they all finally sell it in May, let's say you list in April or sooner than later in general. kind of beat up all of those listings that usually come on in the summertime, and or beat out, not beat up, and remain one of the few of, you're really like, when you're listing today, you're a few of a very small handful of homes for sale. And that's why we're seeing these great prices for those sellers. But as soon as those listing inventory rise, or if interest rates rise, it's going to affect the seller's bottom line. So would love to hear your thoughts, your feedback, also what your numbers that you're tracking. It's always interesting for me. I love this. I eat this stuff for breakfast. So please share. Also, if you're just curious about how much your house is worth, a market analysis, we're happy to do it. Meet on Zoom or meet in person, no obligation. I hope you guys have an awesome rest of your day. Thank you for watching. Please share this video with someone you love. I'm Christina Ward, Christina and Company, Keller Williams Realty Boise, and my number is 208-869-2444. Have a great day.